Hey, it's Amy. Before I get started with the review, I just wanted to acknowledge that this is mostly a flute covers channel, but given that my own flute desperately needs a COA right now, I decided to try what many of my fellow flutists have been buzzing about lately, which is cheap Amazon instruments. I was really curious about just how well these flutes played out of the box, so I went ahead and ordered one. Hopefully this video will be interesting or useful to you, even if it is a slight departure from my usual content. With that being said, let's take a deep dive into the Mendini close-hole C-flute with stand 1-year warranty, case, cleaning rod, cloth, joint grease, and gloves, open parentheses, nickel-plated, close parentheses. This flute currently retails on Amazon for $84.99, which is mind-blowingly cheap considering most beginner flutes by brands like Yamaha, Gemeinhardt, Dijou, Trevor James, and Pearl are on average 5 to 8 times more expensive. When purchasing or trialing a new flute, there are usually a few things you need to look out for. I won't be giving a comprehensive list by any means, but just a few ideas to get you started. Probably the most apparent one of all is that there should be absolutely no dings, scratches, or tarnish on your flute. Scratches and tarnish are usually more aesthetic than anything, but large enough dings or dents can impact your sound, especially if they occur in the head joint. This flute actually came very much clean and scratch-free, except for a small spot of discoloration near the lip plate, which I would show you, but it's pretty hard to see on camera. Another easy one to check is that the pads, or the yellow or cream-colored circles beneath your keys, should be smooth and clean, not wrinkled or torn. A key consideration for flutes ordered online is adjustment issues, or leaks, which can arise from the storage and shipping process. You can inspect your flute's adjustment by pressing down its keys and affirming that they and their partner keys are moving up and down in sync, as well as fully sealing the tone holes. Adjustment issues can be fixed by using a screwdriver on the adjustment screws. But if you don't know what you're doing, it's probably better to leave it to a teacher or a technician. One last consideration is that when assembling your instrument, all 3 joints should slide together easily and should feel neither too tight nor too loose. I actually had quite a bit of difficulty twisting on the foot joint, which felt super tight even after wiping the tenons with a clean cloth. So be careful not to manhandle your flute and only grab the parts where there aren't any keys or rods. With that out of the way, let's unpack the technical specs of this flute. This Mendini is a nickel-plated close-hold flute with an offset G, a split E mechanism, which is actually a nice bonus you don't find on many student models, Y-shaped key arms, and a C foot joint. Along with the flute, the seller throws in several accessories, including a black case with velvet lining, which, by the way, doesn't open more than 90 degrees and falls over without a flute inside it. We also have a shoulder strap, a screwdriver, some tenon caps, which I really don't see people using, a flute pocketbook, a flute stand, which I actually used earlier in this video, a yellow cleaning cloth and plastic cleaning rod, cork grease, which you should never ever use on a metal flute, and a pair of gloves, which I'm guessing are for either marching band or cosplaying. Now, for the long-awaited playtest, I'll be pitting my own flute, an Altus that hasn't been serviced in over a year, against the Mendini for a side-by-side comparison. Okay, let's wrap it up with some final thoughts. I really did want to playtest the Mendini much more than I ended up doing, but needless to say, it was hopelessly unplayable. At first, only a few of the right-hand pads were leaking, but over the course of a day, it got progressively worse. All in all, it's impossible for me to evaluate this flute's performance, broken as it is, so I'll just leave you with a final warning. Purchasing this flute is a gamble on the condition it arrives in, which is exacerbated by the fact that its repair cost will definitely surpass its initial price. Worst case, your flute won't last a day, like mine, or maybe even worse, it will arrive already broken on your doorstep. Either way, you should weigh your options for the long haul and consider possibly renting a flute, buying a nicer pre-owned instrument, borrowing from your school, etc. Please be careful, and I hope this was informative to your flute shopping. Thanks for watching this video I decided to make on the fly. And whether or not you're a flute player, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.